All right, it is 9 a.m. on October 24th, 2021, and I'm excited about going on a long fast today. And if I succeed, which I'm pretty confident I will, it will become the 12th longest fast I've ever done in my lifetime. And really excited about that. Today, Evelina Falenta turns 42 years old, and I hope to fast 42 hours in her honor. And the reason I like her is because she has not allowed being single to get in the way of her career. She's a singer-songwriter, and I suggested to her, she and I are actually friends on Facebook, if you can believe it. I suggested to her to write a song about being happily single and the freedom and the wonders of it. Now, freedom also comes into play with intermittent fasting. You see, when I first started my journey into intermittent fasting almost 2 years ago now, I used to have big dreads about how many hours it will be until I could eat, right? Not only did it bother other people, it still bothers other people that I refuse food, by the way. Not only did it bother other people in the past about my fasting, it bothered myself. I would constantly look at the clock. 8 more hours, 6 more hours, right? And oh my God, a week from now there's an anniversary I gotta fast for, right? Oh my God, how do I survive Halloween if I want to fast for it, which I do, by the way. November 7th, I'm gonna fast for, well, Evelina Falenta's great aunt, right? Mary Curry. How am I going to serve? Oh my God, only 2 more weeks and I got to go on another fast. That one that's going to last even longer than this one. I used to think that a lot, but today when I woke up, I had this big feeling of peace. Oh my God, it's Sunday and I could actually go to church and mingle with people without worrying about food. Wow, I could go to a board game club and not have to worry about taking a break for dinner. Wow, I could, unfortunately, right now, there's still a lot of things that are slow, right? Because we're still in phase 3 of the reopenings for COVID-19. But eventually, wow, I could go to a theme park and not have to worry about the fact that I can't bring outside food into the theme park. I could go to a movie and see 2 or 3 movies in a row without worrying about how do I sneak food in there or worrying about being interrupted by needing to eat. Wow, I could go on a road trip. I could fly maybe to Poland to go see Evelina Falenta and not have to worry about how do I how do I pack food in my suitcase? How do I avoid having my the seat on my airplane get dirtied up with spills? I love baking chocolate, right? So this is a bar of baking chocolate that I would be eating when I'm not fasting, and I put it in my pocket on the plane, and oh my God, my whole seat is filled with molten chocolate, right? Don't worry about all that. So I woke up this morning having this great sense of just freedom wash over me. It wasn't always like that, by the way. I used to have big dreads about fasting. What did I have to do? I had heavy metal toxicity at one point. I needed to get tested for heavy metal toxicity. So you got to take this drug called alpha lipoic acid, and you also have to fast only 12 hours before the test. And so even that, it wasn't, it was only 12 hours, and 8 of them I was asleep anyway, but it was still a bottleneck, let's put it that way, that I had to think about. Right, I used to instinctively reach for something, and oh my God, I accidentally I can't do the test tomorrow, and then I got to reschedule it. I've been there before, where I just subconsciously just eat without even thinking about it. I don't do that anymore. But it's just great sense of freedom and liberation ever since I started fasting. Now, the longest fast I ever did was last month, so I now make it a tradition. Every September 11th, I fast 2,996 minutes, 1 minute for each victim. That's about 52 hours. But back last month, when I got to 52 hours and there was no sign of me ever wanting to eat, I felt this great sense of liberation. I was getting my tasks done. I was enjoying social events a whole lot more without the intrusion. Now, the social events are a mixed bag. I enjoy them more. Some people think I'm suffering and they make noise about it. Which is a big problem, right? I was in Phoenix, Arizona at the time. People have a more live and let live attitude over there. In Seattle, it might not have played out the same way. But I was enjoying the liberation, and I just had this happy-go-lucky feeling. Nothing could bother me, right? Something would go wrong, my car would break down, and that wouldn't bother me. People would ghost me on Facebook, that wouldn't bother me. What else could go wrong? Workplace stresses washed right off, right? And just get this loss of inhibition feeling. And I really wish when I was fasting for 9/11, when I got to 60 hours, I was thinking to myself, this is great. I wish I could just keep fasting until I just die from starvation. And I wouldn't mind it because I felt so great. You gotta understand, when you're 60 hours into fasting, your mind isn't working correctly. But that's the honest to God feeling that I had of that time. Now, I had big fears at the beginning of the lockdown because I have dietary restrictions. And I worried that, because in some countries where COVID-19 was doing a whole lot more damage, people were being imprisoned over quarantine restrictions. And a lot of times when I get into situations like that, I've been in the hospital before. When I was a kid, I spent time in a juvenile detention center. And both times I had very difficult times asking for foods that I need to control my chronic health issues, right? I have high-functioning autism and do very well with avoiding various things. I have eczema, which is in remission because I control it with diet. But I have a hard time getting anybody to understand, even at a hospital, if you can believe that. And so I got very worried about being locked down. And I don't worry about that anymore because, if I get in prison for 2-3 weeks over restrictions like that and I end up having to fast 2 or 3 weeks, it will be experience, right? And I'll have some liberation. I'll be able to think about my computer games without being intruded by cravings. I'll be able to mingle with people at the quarantine facility without being intruded by cravings, and I'll make some new connections, and I'll make my voice heard about my dietary restrictions. Just a great sense of liberation, not having to worry about all these things. Let's put it that way. Thanks for watching.